Hello everybody and welcome to the official Indy Legacy YouTube channel. I decided to make this channel as a way to go over the many intriguing bits of lore in the Indiana Jones franchise. It's amazing how much you can see the incredible depth that the Indiana Jones saga has once you start digging into all the incredible spin-off media such as comics, novels, and the Young Indiana Jones TV show. Indy had a lot more adventures than were ever really covered in depth in the films, including some that not a lot of people know about. And both before, during, and after his adventures on the silver screen. For this first video, I thought it would be interesting to go over the novel Indiana Jones and the Dinosaur Eggs. This is the 10th Indy novel in the original Bantam series. It's the second by Max McCoy, and it came out in 1996. This is one of my favorite Indiana Jones novels, and I really love the way that it corresponds with a lot of other interests, mixing paleontology and archaeology together. In the Indy timeline, Dinosaur Eggs is set in 1933, so about 3 years before Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's focused on a slightly younger Indy, one who has already had quite a few adventures under his belt, so he's a bit more experienced. The story revolves around Indy and his quest to find the last living Triceratops. This journey takes Indy all the way from New Jersey to the steppes of Mongolia. He gets caught up in an ever-increasing tension clash between regional warlords and the race to save the most historic discovery of the 20th century. I think that part is the copy from the back of the book. I'll recap the entire story here, as I think it's important for readers to go in and discover the magic of it on their own. What we want to do is more focus on the lore of it and the basic premise, which is dinosaurs existing in the modern day. We all know this trope. It's been done before, most notably in Jurassic Park, but also I can throw Arthur Conan Doyle, The Lost World. That idea of a lost world of dinosaurs living alongside humans the present day, or being brought back to life, has always been an intriguing one for movies and fiction to explore. So Indy first finds evidence of the dinosaurs still existing in Princeton University, given bones from prominent paleontologists working in outer Mongolia. However, the Triceratops horns they have given are not fossilized at all. They are from a recently living animal. According to the description of the horn, it displayed the same pattern of foraging and battle damage that other fossils of its type have, and that it appeared to be from an adult female smaller than most fossils that they had in their collection. This animal is called the Aldergorhorhai, the fabled stone piece of the desert. It was the animal is called from other people in the Gobi Desert Indy talks to. Other people in the region, they know about it, but it's kind of this big secret that's not really talked about to outsiders. It kind of reminds me of those cryptological tales about dinosaurs living in remote areas of the world, like the Mokele, the Mombe, the Berenjor, and other things, like Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster. But in this case, this turns out to be something that actually has evidence to support it. Even more dramatically escalates as Indy gets further into the Gobi and he finds a carved fragment made out of a dinosaur eggshell and looks like a man riding Triceratops. He's told that they're everywhere among the cliffs in the area he's looking at, and they're very old. The present day people in the region had no idea what a dinosaur looked like, and Indy states that the ornament that he finds is an accurate representation about it. So he's finding something to back up this myth and legend, and people have artifacts about it from ancient times. And so eventually Indy finds the eggs, 3 of them having been cared for in a monastery in the Gobi Desert. It's not said where exactly they were found, only that the eggs are supposedly from its last of its kind. No living animal has been known besides some other. And they estimate that the gestation period is about 18 months. So about 18 months since the mother died. And that wherever the father was from, those two were probably the last two adult animals, since they don't know of any other animals. So eventually, long story short, 2 of the eggs vanished, meaning that the population is once again down to 1. So even if they can't only have 1 animal, it would probably go extinct again. They managed to get the animal to a safety area where it hatched in a valley untouched by man. That valley has an almost tropical climate, unlike the rest of the Gobi. The people there are descendants of the dune dwellers from the cliffs where the other artifact was found, and they live pretty much almost Stone Age society. They revere the Alec Horhai or Triceratops as sacred. They're pretty much extremely remote, only 46 individuals in the entire group, and isolated for thousands of years, and they say pretty clearly that only the occasional traveler has got through. That's how the legend about Triceratops gets through to the outside world. Interestingly enough, Indy is told that the eggs are a great delicacy, and that mythical quality about consumption of dinosaur eggs, and that it confers vitality and ensures survival. Indy is told that he can't smuggle it out to the outside world because there's an outside chance that there's another living egg within the valley, or even another living Triceratops. Indy is told that the trike eats the Cretaceous era foilie the native people use, so it's difficult to find outside the area. Now I know I don't want to reiterate everything, but the evidence is stacking up that I do not think the Triceratops could not have originated from anywhere else besides that valley. Isolated, no one's been in for thousands of years, and had that perfect temperature and climate and the foilie. The perfect area for them to live in. Outside of that area is pretty barren, not very hospitable for a full-grown Triceratops. It doesn't say exactly where the eggs were found, but I have to say probably smuggled from inside the valley. Also, the evidence tells me that the people by the cliffs were probably either traveled from the valley, or at one time the climate was like that of the valley. The range of those animals, perhaps between the dunes and the valley, at the most, I want to say. One thing had me thinking that the Triceratops still lived in the valley is that the eggs of the Triceratops are said to be a great delicacy. Obviously, that means there had to have been a historical tradition of eating these animals, reserved for the elites among the group. So probably there were many, and like that ornament I described, they actually managed to tame them. I find that honestly very interesting, that whole idea of people riding Triceratops. Just going around riding Triceratops all over, that must have been a sight to see. It did not really go into the valley at all, just barely scraped the surface of where the people's village was. But that's the only place they were able to find things to eat. The people generally ate their eggs. I would say that would be the perfect place to find more. With only 1 individual, the species would probably be extinct, so it's probably idea for it to have remained secret in the end, so that to give it a chance to grow. Thank you all very much for tuning in to my first speech for the Indy Legacy YouTube. This is hopefully the first of many in the future where I cover tidbits from different parts of the Indy lore. There's a lot to cover, and Indy was a pretty busy guy when it came to the MacGuffins, or legendary objects. What fascinates me about this one so much was that in one instance where it was not an object that was magical in nature, but more something that was about of the distant past. It really felt to me almost like a crossover between Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park. So I guess stay tuned to Indy Legacy for next time as we try and uncover more of the secrets in the extended universe Indy lore. Thank you everyone for listening. Bye.